mining sector is one that is very volatile and constantly unpredictable. However, South Africa has a rich mineral produce, and even through volatility, the sector still contributes more than 18 billion rand to the fiscus. Anglo Mineral Inc. has been one of those mining companies that have contributed positively to the country's economy. This report will discuss the capital structure of Anglo Mineral Inc. at different debt ratios. It will give a summary of the essential findings based on the summary capital structure study from Anglo Mineral Inc. We will graphically show the relationship between the coefficient of variation of earnings per share and increasing debt ratio. Our objectives are to be able to identify which capital structure is preferred should the company want to maximize its EPS, and to also identify which capital structure should be preferred should the company want to maximize its share value. Furthermore, we will recommend to the company whether they should rather maximize EPS or rather maximize share value.
Capital structure in the mining industry. A summary. The main focus of the summary will be debt ratio and its effects on financial leverage. Financial leverage refers to the use of debt to acquire additional assets, and debt ratio is being able to pay off liabilities with these assets. In reference to the mining industry, they rely heavily on debt and purchasing expensive assets. They need to constantly have large amounts of money in order for them to purchase assets and to keep technological advances. They attract long-term investors and entities that are willing to wait longer periods for returns. This means that capital is not readily available, and they always have to finance using debt. They have to rely heavily on receiving debt to finance their purchases and also pay for things like wages. Equipment and machinery in this industry is very expensive and always changing. They also have to employ large amounts of employees and pay large sums of wages. Large amounts of assets and even larger amounts of debt, meaning financial leverage in this sector is riskier and higher than it would be for other long-term investments.
May the board please turn to figure 2, where we'll be discussing the relationship between EPS and the increasing debt ratio. It is evident that there is a positive relationship between EPS and the increasing debt ratio. An increase in EPS simply means that every year the amount of profit received increases and company has more profits to distribute to its shareholders. Financial leverage is positively correlated with financial risk. Firms with a high financial risk can avoid risk by altering the capital structure when market conditions are favorable. A high level of financial leverage results in a high level of financial risk. Firms should make more profits to compensate for additional risk arising from their financial decisions.
I would like the board to please turn to figure 2, as we'll be discussing the coefficient variation and increasing debt ratio. There is a linear relationship between the coefficient of variation and increasing debt ratio. Coefficient of variation increases as debt ratio increases, and debt increases both risk and return. For the given variability of earnings before interest and tax, earnings per share increases more financial leverage. The variability of earnings per share caused by the use of financial leverage is called financial risk. Therefore, a totally equity financed firm will have little to no financial risk, but when debt is used, the firm adds financial risk.
Optimal structure to maximize EPS. The debt ratio is equal to 65 and equity is equal to 35. Optimal structure to maximize share value debt ratio is also equal to 65% and equity is also equal to 65%, where the share value is equal to 1.14. In the short run, a company's stock price can make small to large price adjustments depending on new releases and earnings reports. In the long run, a firm's stock price will depend largely on the firm's overall earnings. Value maximization tells the participants in an organization how they will assess their success in achieving a vision or implementing a strategy. But value maximization says nothing about how to create a superior vision or strategy. And value maximization says nothing to employees or managers about how to find or establish initiatives and ventures that create value. Profit maximization, on the other hand, is the most important objective of a business entity, as it helps to run a business smoothly and successfully and survives continuously while making profits and stays solvent at the same time as providing various benefits. Therefore, as a team, we have decided to the company to maximize EPS rather than to maximize share value.
With all my team and I have discussed thus far, it is evident that debt ratio increased, as did earnings per share and coefficient of variation. In addition, we discussed that when a firm uses debt, it increases its financial risk. And therefore, it is better for MMI to maximize its earnings per share rather than to maximize its share value. We hope that all the information we've given you in this report and this presentation gives you all the necessary information for your future endeavors. Thank you.
And it sounds the big lord.
If I